What's going on, gamers? This is John with Gamester81.com. This will be my review over the brand new Xbox One system by Microsoft. Came out November 22nd, 2013. North America and Europe, many other countries around the world, 13 countries actually. Not in Japan yet, though. They're actually going to release it in Japan later in 2014, along with other countries, due to region issues, region capabilities with the Kinect, etc. So it retails for $499 US in the US. I think it's 499 euros as well in Europe. So it's not cheap. It's $100 more than the PS4, significantly more than the Wii U, about twice as much. So this is a really expensive system compared to other competitors, but it comes with some more peripherals. So you got the Kinect, the Model 2, the version 2 next generation Kinect. It comes with a single controller, 500 gig hard drive. I'll explain a little bit more about the hardware and stuff later on in the review. This is going to be part one. I'm basically going to talk about the overview of the system. We're going to do an unboxing, show you what's included. Part two, I'm going to show you a demo, the operating system. You can kind of see the dashboard, how that works, some gameplay footage. You can kind of see what that looks like, and my final opinion will be in part two as well over the Xbox One. But Microsoft doesn't just consider this a gaming machine. They consider this, quote, an all-in-one entertainment system. Basically what they mean by that is that this is not just to compete directly with Sony and Nintendo, but they're also going to trying to compete with Apple TV, Google TV. Basically, they want you to watch TV using this thing. This is there is no DVR, so to speak, but they're working with cable providers where you can actually essentially link up a cable provider service and like tape shows and stuff like that. There is a cloud-based service, which I'm sure they're going to integrate some where you can save games and possibly TV shows to the clouds later on. But that's interesting. Okay, it's kind of cool that they're doing that. But I know when they initially released their press release at E3 and stuff like that, they were about TV, and there's videos out there talking about TV, and people are kind of, okay, what's going on? You're kind of straying away from the gaming aspect of things. But I think to the core, this is a gaming machine, and it's pretty powerful. This is the box itself. Pretty basic, actually. It's black. So now let's do this. Let me unbox this. I'll talk a little bit more individually about the controller itself, the Kinect peripheral. This is the version 2 Kinect, and then the system itself. And then let me know what you guys think about the Xbox One. If you guys own one, let me know what you guys think about it. If you guys do plan on getting one, let me know. If not, let me know. What are your impressions of the Xbox One? Kind of go from there. And then part two, I'll do a demo, and then share with you my initial impression over the Xbox One. So here's a closer look at the box itself. It's pretty plain. It's black, which kind of surprised me. I was expecting to see either white or green, especially because I think Xbox, I think green. I kind of associate the color green with Xbox and blue with PlayStation. But anyway, you got a nice matte finish here on the left. On the right, it's kind of a glossy finish. Pretty plain Xbox One. Not a fan of the name Xbox One. Personally, I thought maybe 720 would have been my preferred name, but either way, name's not going to affect the system as far as if I like it or not, for sure. I'm not that picky. Picture of the system is here. On the side, you got a controller. On the back, pretty plain. On the other side, it kind of shows you what's included. You get the Xbox One console, the Kinect, which the Kinect does make it cost $100 extra, as I mentioned before. You get the controller, you got headphones, HDMI cable, wireless networking capability, 1 year limited warranty, and a 500 gig hard drive. Okay, and pretty much it. Just kind of all the more information there. On the top, you got a handle here. This thing is actually pretty heavy. So let's go ahead and open this up. You'll notice there's some tape here. So let's go and undo that and see what's inside. Okay, so open this up, and right here off the bat, you have the Kinect, which looks a little narrower than the Kinect model version 1. But this thing is heavy. The box itself is heavy, but this thing looks like it's pretty well built. You got the connection cord. That's how it's actually looks like. Oh, there's a cap here. That's how it's connected to the console. Okay. So a lot of games, the Kinect is optional. I'm sure they'll make Kinect-specific games for the Xbox One eventually, but right now you can do voice commands, stuff like that. Very subtle things. Nothing that you can do it to an extreme point, but I'm sure as the life of the system goes, developers will figure out the technology and work around it. Instruction manual, see what it's saying about green. Nice little bumper sticker. Thank you for being part of it. This is kind of a thing you can scan. Get equipped. All right. Your headphones. Looks like this is your controller. Let's open this up. So right off the bat, I'll take a closer look at this later in the review as far as the controller itself, but it does look like it takes batteries, and that's disappointing to me. I like the fact that Sony, you can charge it, and this one you need batteries. So it is what it is. Similar so far. Kind of looks very similar to the Xbox 360 controller. It does come with 2 AA batteries, so that's nice. So I'm not sure how long the battery necessarily lasts on the controller. Probably very similar to the Xbox 360 controller. Here's your HDMI cables. What's this? This is, oh, connection cord. This is your AC adapter, your brick, so-called. So it looks very similar to the Xbox 360 brick. And here is the system itself. It's wrapped in protection, so let me unwrap that. So, like, no joke, this thing is like twice as heavy as a PS4, it seems like, anyway. So let's take a closer look at the system now. So here is a closer look at the Xbox One. As I mentioned before in the earlier video, this thing is actually really heavy. I'm not a big fan of the glossy finish, only because oily fingers can cause like markings on here. It is easily scratchable, so you gotta be careful not to scratch it. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass to clean, essentially. You got half of this is kind of ventilation. Kind of looks more like a Blu-ray player than a gaming machine. You got the Xbox logo here in silver. No, it's not green. This is where the games or Blu-rays or DVDs can go into. This is not backwards compatible. It will not play Xbox 360 games. It will not play the original Xbox games. I was going to say Xbox One, it's confusing, but the original Xbox games. To turn it on, you can do a couple ways. You can just finger over there and just touch. It turns on, okay, and it has got a white logo, the Xbox logo there. Let's look on the back. This thing actually is on. You can see it's really, really quiet. Very, very quiet, unlike the original Xbox 360. Here is the back. You have HDMI in and out. This is where your power connection goes into. As you saw in my unboxing, it comes with like a separate brick, just like the 360. Doesn't have component or composite cables. You got USB, 2 USB connections here. This is where Kinect plugs into. This is for like if you want to do like a LAN party. This is where you can connect multiple of these together. Another USB on the side here. And to eject, you can you hit this right here, you touch that, and it ejects the disc. It's got Rise in there, which is an exclusive title for launch title for the Xbox. As far as hardware goes, because a lot of you guys are wondering as far as how powerful this machine is. I'll go over some of the key place things here. It's got an AMD Jaguar Accelerated Processing Unit, APU, with 2 quad-core modules totaling 8 x86 64-core, clocked at 1.75 gigahertz. And it's got 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. Apparently 3 of those gigs of RAM will be reserved for the operating systems. This works on 3 separate operating systems. You got the Xbox OS based. There's a Windows based operating systems which is based on the kernel Windows device that they have, and there's another operating system that can get those 2 to work together. It's got 50 gigs of non-replaceable hard drive, so you can't replace a hard drive. You can't hack this or whatever like you can in the original Xbox, where you can mod it and play games like that. I'm sure people will probably figure out how to do that eventually. So this is a pretty powerful system, and it is fast. But one thing I've noticed is the games, when you load them, it downloads the games to the system. So it does take a lot of time to do. Overall, that's kind of a recap over the system itself. Let's take a closer look at the controller. So here's a closer look at the Xbox One controller. It looks very similar and designed very similar to the Xbox 360 remote. Notice a couple things that are different though. Number one is the directional pad. You got a 4-way directional pad instead of the 8 directional pad here with the 360. buttons are a little bit different. Obviously A, B, X, Y are in the same place, but just look a little bit different. These directional pads here are actually improved. It's what they call a separate impulse trigger. So when you're controlling one, actually one can vibrate, the other one not. So you got more feeling. I guess when you're playing games, so to speak, is more sensitive. This is cool. It's got the day 1, 2013 launch. So I got that because this is the launch one I got. So that's kind of cool. Limited to games that were limited to systems that were released on launch day. Also different, instead of a start and back button, you have basically a menu and another button here to get you back to the operating system, like the dashboard. This actually, you put this down and it turns on the system. It lights up white, just like when systems turned on, I just showed you. Same thing at the R1, R2, and L2, L1. This is to sync, this button here is to sync it to the system, just like the original 360. It does run off 2 AA batteries, just like the 360 remote. Notice that's different though, because it doesn't have that compartment you have to put them into. They actually fit right in the actual controller. I'm not a fan of that personally. I'm sure there's a way you can get rechargeable batteries and whatnot, just like the PS4, PS3, where you can actually charge the remote that way. But that's kind of a pain in the butt to have to change batteries, I think. But as far as life of batteries, I'm sure it's similar to the 360. You know, they last for quite a while. But yeah, that's pretty much an overview over the controller itself. I can tell you that the D-pad definitely feels a lot different. These triggers are, you can click them into, are a little bit more, they feel a little bit different than actually the 362, maybe a little bit more tight. I'm not a big fan of how this feels. They feel very plasticky, like cheap plastic. Both these are R2 and L2. So here is the Kinect. This is Model 2 Kinect. And now this is included with it. You have no option. And this is one of the reasons why the system's $100 more than a PS4, for example, because you're pretty much paying for this too. But it is improved because it comes with a wide-angled 1080p lens. So it's high-def lens. And one issue with the original Kinect was there's not enough room for it to touch you. You had to back up and move things around. This actually is wide-angled. You're not going to have much of an issue with that. It's also, I noticed it balances on TVs really nicely. So it has a nice balance to it. And it's super sensitive as far as tracking goes. It can track up to 6 people, 6 skeletons at a time. It can check your heart rate for those individual people too, and you know, your heat and you know, how nervous you are. So right now there aren't any exclusive Kinect games available. There are a few that you can download, I guess, through the, I take that back, there are a few that you can download through the game store. But yeah, overall I think they're gonna have some really incredible options to utilize a Kinect, kind of unique device that kind of makes it a little bit different than both the PS4 and the Wii U. Guys, that concludes part 1 over my review over the Xbox One. Part 2, I'll go over, explain the dashboard, gameplay, and share my overall first impressions over the Xbox One. If you guys want to stay connected, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, also on Instagram, as well as my website, Gamester81.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys soon, and happy gaming.